what was your meditation routine when you were in America, and what is now these days when you are in India?
Okay. Back in those days, I just learned about like focusing here, and I was just basking in light was permeating my body. And the difference is now is that only when I first started, the third eye had opened. And then since coming here, we learned to do bija mantras. So I did bija mantras for several years. And now we don't really have to do them anymore, because when we sit for meditation, we bring our awareness to our first chakra. Then you can feel this first chakra open up. And then we allow the earth energy. And this is one of the biggest things that's needed for the people on the planet right now, is that people are not grounded. So we have a lot of people doing a lot of spiritual practices, but they're not grounded. So they're very half out of their body. So people are like, ooh, you know, and we need to be in our body to do the work. We are here on the earth to help and to do the work. So we need to be grounded. So then to sit and to open up our first chakra, connect it to the earth, and allow the earth energy come in. And we bring it to our pranic storehouse. And then you can open up the other chakras as you come along, and then get to the heavenly energy and let the light energy come in here. And then you can kind of anchor it. So this is really important practice, to be centered and grounded. So when we open up these chakras, and then to circulate the energy, or like in Kriya Yoga and different practices, is to go up and down the spine. That balances the chakras. If one chakra is overactive and the other one's underactive, when you're going up and down like this, it distributes the energy equally. Yeah? So if you do this practice every day, then you're going to be more balanced, you'll be more blissful.
What is the, to sum up this interview, Babaji, the last question I want to ask you, what is the biggest learning you have received till now?
God is one. God, Goddess, all that is a oneness. There's no separation.
And do you also found similarities between Hindus, Christian, and other religion?
Well, you gotta,
are there similarity, or we just have to imagine that they are one?
Absolutely, because actually the first book that brought me on this trip was a book called The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. 12 scientists in 1895 were brought here by the masters. They came from the West, they came here, they brought them into the Himalayas. They walked on water, they manifested food, they fed the poor, they healed the blind. They did all the things that Jesus did. And these are scientists, so they're very skeptical. You know, they're skeptical. So after some time, they teleported their bodies 100 kilometers. You know, they'd have one group here, 100 kilometers apart, and they would be there in 10 minutes. They were doing this stuff to show them. Yeah.
Is it true?
Yeah, of course. So these books changed my life. And when I first met the master, then I went to this other woman. She's a tantric master, and I said, "You have some books for me?" I just heard that she would have some books, and she said, and she handed me the books, and she said, "These books changed my life 25 years ago." And she put them in my hands, and I'd look up and I go, "They're vibrating." And she looked like this, and I went, "I gotta go." And I went home and I started reading, and I started crying, because I was reading spiritual truth based on Eastern philosophy. It had nothing to do with the religion. It was Eastern philosophy, because when we talk Eastern philosophy, then we're encompassing Jainism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Yogi, Taoism. All of this is part of the Eastern philosophy. This is where I resonate, because I study and I practice all these different modalities. Yeah. So then one day their teacher showed up, Jesus. And Jesus is the one that teaches them for 3.5 years. They go to Tibet. All of a sudden they were up for a week. They could read different Sanskrit tablature. They were given the power to see all this stuff. All these scientists, they enlightened them all, and then 8 of them, I think, stayed. They never went back to the West, and 4 went back to the West. And one of them wrote this book, and he was in Los Angeles. And these books are very famous, and anybody that I know that's ever read these books, they look at me and they say, yeah, those books. Because when you read spiritual books written by saints that are full of truth, it's a transmission. You have experience. It's like reading the Vedas, reading the Mahabharata, the Ramayana. Things happen to us when we read these books. Same with this books. And I cried my way through that books, and when I read that, but that was it. And in those books, and one day the scientist said, who's that guy? Because there was another master and everybody was bowing to him, and they said, oh, that's Lord Buddha. See, when they leave, the enlightened ones, they leave, they can always come back. Anytime and manifest in a body. And just be here and,
And you believe in manifestation?
Yes. I even said in Shantigiri, when Janardhan Swami, I told the boys one day, I said, Janardhan Swami, he comes here. He walks around your ashram. He blesses all you people, but you never know. Because right now, your guru is Shantigiri Baba. But you guys always pay homage to his pictures and everything. And the boys looked at me and they ran away. And they went to ask Shantigiri Baba about this. And then they came back and told me, they said, we talked to Shantigiri Baba about what you said. And I said, yeah, what did he say? He says, everything you say is true. So the masters can come and go freely. They are free. And they can manifest bodies and they can walk on the planet anytime. Our scriptures are full of Shiva and Parvati flying out of the skies thousands of years ago. This is Kali Yuga time. So now only certain devotees get to see such things. But in the future, we'll start to see those things will come back around. As the yugas change and we become closer to God, humanity does, then we'll start to have these experiences. All this information because I speak in a very universal way, bringing everybody together, not to be separated that I am Hindu, I am Buddhist. We are children of God, and God has many paths to the ocean, right? Hinduism is very precious, but we have to also recognize that the different rivers also get us there. Give you one example. The Bhairava Tantra. It's Shiva giving Parvati all the different ways to get to God, right? All the ways to enlightenment. 112 ways, right? Buddha, he only shows one of those 112 ways. So when we look at Hinduism, it's very vast. Like I say, all religions are within there. Because yes. But we should not try to create those barriers. We should live by the Dharma. The Dharma is to allow people to worship in any way they like. As long as it's a true way and it doesn't hurt anybody. Yeah? We should always protect the Dharma. So if somebody wants to worship this way, that's fine. But if they do worship that hurts other people, then people like me, different Babas, we would stand up against that kind of a practice. Yes? So we must stand up for the Dharma. And that is to protect the earth. And she's a much loved. We cannot destroy her. We have to protect her and be connected to her. She is the goddess, and she's part of our Dharma. Yeah. And right now she has a little fever, Mother Earth, and that's why we have all the storms and earthquakes that we have right now. So we need to come back around about how we use her on the planet, not abuse her, but how we use her, and we can use her accordingly. And that's the biggest lesson that humanity is going to have right now, is our mother. Yeah.
It was a great learning experience for us, Babaji. We will take some time to digest it. Because you are a so much experienced person. Now you have traveled so much and you have studied hard and you meditated a lot.
Well, we cry
It's
for
a
a minute.
kind of a nectar thing, you know, coming out from your mouth.
Well,
Just
I've had so many tears come out of these eyes and into Ganga and onto this earth for all of the things that I have been taught and the things that I have felt from the pain from humanity and all of that. That, you know, that this is what's manifested in me now, that I speak in this way. Because in this way is true Dharma. And it's about inclusiveness. It's about recognizing all of us as brothers and sisters and how we can care for each other and how unconditional love is the most powerful thing in the universe. Yeah. Through our love, we can heal all wounds, and that's where we need to go. Compassion, kindness, gentleness. So.
Thank you so much. It was a great meeting. Great meeting.
Well, when you edit this, I'd really like to see what
Yeah, for sure.
what me. You understand? I'm
But
speaking
in the
like
second term,
it's flowing. It's like
Yeah.
that sun is just barreling
I
through
could
me,
feel it.
and I'm just the channel. You know, like when we do healing work. I always tell people it's not me. Yeah, it's not me. It's what's coming through me. How we call on we call on God to come and help, and then the energy flows through, and people get. I know Swami Ramdev tried. He tried to get the masses going with doing yoga, and I think some have, but really we need to get just simple exercises, teaching them like Pawan Mukh series of Hatha yoga, just getting up and rotating the joints. We rotate the joints, so we do all the joints, the circulation in the body will start to be better, and also the blood, the prana, everything will circulate more, and you're breathing in and out of the joints. Yeah, man. And just the stretching, basic stretching. They don't have to turn
even
into
I don't do.
a pretzel. You don't have to do that. No, you do simple stuff, simple exercises.
Like little bit stretching.
Yeah, like you're doing like this. Spread your toes apart. You're using all the muscles here. We never use the muscles here. Come up here like this. Open up the toes, spread the toes, crunch the toes, rotate the wrists. Your awareness is there. We're breathing in and out of our ankles, bringing in fresh energy. Get the circulation flowing through the body, Get the blood moving so that it's not stagnant in certain areas. Very simple stuff. In 6 months, my visa run out, I come down.
That is your wish.
That's what I was doing, but if I didn't have the visa problem, I would have just stayed up there. Because the vibration up there in Gangotri and Badrinath and Kedarnath and all these places is just amazing.
You have maintained your pure. Thank you so much. It was a great meeting.
What did you do? He just did this because he wasn't limping before. Good. Right? When he was here walking around.
Did you walk?